What's up, everybody? It's Jamel Gibbs. Look, today what I'm gonna do is show you something that I haven't shown you before on my channel. Recently I picked up a lead from a guy on Facebook. Shout out to you, you know who you are. Sent me a great deal. 24-unit apartment building is vacant here in Winston-Salem. Now obviously you guys know that I'm looking to build my real estate portfolio to 5,000 units. If you haven't heard on my previous videos, my real estate portfolio by the time I'm 45, maybe 47, will be around 5,000 units. I'm 40 years old right now. I've been investing in real estate for 20 years. But today we're gonna look at something that's a little unique. This is something I probably won't keep, just judging by the condition of the property, but I do have somebody that's interested in it, and I can make several $100,000 on it. So you're gonna hear me talk about it a little bit on this particular video. Let me know in the comment section what you thought or what you think about these units. And when I talk about how we structured the deal, let me know what you thought about the numbers. It's a great property. It's gonna make me a lot of money. It's gonna make the buyer a lot of money. It's gonna make whoever's involved in this deal a lot of money. And then eventually you're gonna make a lot of money because you learning from me on how to do this. And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about, right? It's about everybody winning. And that's what we do right here on this channel. So make sure you tell all of your friends, share this video, make sure you subscribe to this channel, share all of my videos, make sure you comment, do all of that stuff. Let's jump into this video right now. Flood. So this property had flood damage. We're in a flood zone basically. So this property had water down there. So that's why you see the floors buckling up. And you see how it's buckling up right here? It's because of the flood damage. You know, that water rises like crazy. So we at the property. This property, the reason why I was on the fence with it personally is because it's actually in a flood zone. And we just noticed some water inside the property underneath the house and that unit right there. So this is a 24-unit apartment building that, again, I got for a couple of $100,000, but I got somebody that is willing to take on this property for several $100,000 more than what I actually got it for. With that, I'm gonna be able to create some other type of income. I'll talk about that in just a moment. But basically, what I'm able to do with this property is make a couple $100,000 up front. This is not something that I personally want to keep after really reviewing it, because I was really considering keeping this property for myself, because I'm looking to add to my 5,000 units that I want to build up over the next few years. And you know, at the end of the day, this one is just not the type of property that I'm looking for. I'm looking for lipstick type of properties versus full gut jobs. So what I ended up negotiating was I'm going to sell this property for a few $100,000 more. I'm not going to disclose the amount until we actually close the deal. Sell a property to an investor partner of mine, and in addition to that, I'm going to oversee the entire project, if he wants me to, for 10 to 12% of the budget, which is another $100,000 or so. So really I can make a lot of money on this property, a good amount of money for one deal. The only thing is I would have to almost stay into the deal for a little over a year. I'm not a contractor, I'm not a licensed contractor at all, but I can consult on this and be able to guide my buyer's team because he's out of state. I could be able to guide his team to be able to do the right things. And I can actually come out because it's not too far from where I live. This is in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I'm about 30 minutes away from here. And at the end of the day, this would be a good project for him, but not for me. I want to take the money. Again, it's a handsome payday. I'll tell you this, it'll be one of the largest assignment fees I personally received on a single deal, okay? And it's several $100,000. But then in addition to that, I can make money off of the back end by overseeing the project, making sure his contractors are doing the work, basically being a project manager without being a project manager, okay? Almost like a consultant on the deal. if he chooses to go that route. So that's just another $100,000 on top of what I'm already gonna get. So this is a good way for you to start thinking creatively outside of just assignment fees and things like that. Think about other services that you could offer to your investors where you could pull more money out of the deal for yourself. Got to be careful on these floors because you can feel how soft the floors are from the water damage. Again, this is in a flood zone, so really you want to be careful. All of this used to be, if you look around, let's swing around for a minute. All of this used to be 3 apartments. You had an apartment building lined up over there, and then one where that grass area is at over there. So there was 3 apartments in here. The city owns half of that lot over there, and they knocked down the 2 buildings. So I'm even I'm contacting the city to see if I can negotiate getting that land over there, because I can sell that for more money as well. But ultimately, all of this is in a flood zone. There's like a little lake or something on the other side of that tree line right there. I'm thinking that the water rises when it rains pretty hard. I haven't seen it flooded personally. I have seen water underneath the house, but you know, that's something that you definitely want to disclose to your buyers. I disclosed this to the buyers right up front, and he was still interested in the property. So if he wants to buy this property for that price tag, and that's entirely on him, and we're going to make sure that we add that into the agreements as well. See broken glass, everything. The units are all lined up pretty much the same, right? The units are about the same across the board. So when the guys come out, they're flying out here into town from California next Wednesday, and I'm gonna meet up with his guys. What this guy does is he'll buy across the country, and he has a crew that lives in California. He flies them out to live in the area for any amount of time, let's just say 3 to 6 months, and he'll pay for them. He'll get a house for them or whatever to rent, or put them in a hotel for 6 months. And he trusts the same crew, so he'll fly them across the entire country, and he buys properties like this all the time. So this is definitely right up his alley. So this is a good deal for him. It really is. Feels a little more sturdy in here. I'm thinking the flooding really happens down that way, which is ironic because it would make sense that the water was coming from that way. But this floor in here it's not really that bad. So I mean, we're gonna go ahead, take some pictures, watch out for the bees and all that, and do what we do. So really, what the previous owner did, this was a 24 unit, and I'm noticing what he did. He turned 24 units into 12 units, but it's set up as a 24 unit. I don't understand why he did that, but at the end of the day, these could be 24 units, all 2 bedrooms across the board. So this is actually a good deal. It's gonna need, from just looking at it, it needs about $800,000 to $1 million worth of work. But for the price tag, after all the estimations, all of the numbers that we ran, it's going to be well over $2 million. So even if the guy wanted to pull his money out using the BRRRR strategy, I think this property will be worth about 2.3. He can cash out at around 70% of that. So let's just do the math on that. I think it was 1.7 when I ran my numbers. $2.3 million times 0.7, $1.6 million. So actually 80 cents on a dollar. My bad. So it'll be $2.3 million. That's why I said it was 1.7 before, times 0.8 is about, actually it's a little over, $1.8 million that he could pull out of this property once all of these units are rented. So he could be all into this for about $1.5 million, let's just say, right? Pull the money out of the property and pull tax-free dollars out of the property as well. Let's say $200,000 extra tax-free, because you can't get taxed on a loan. So he bought a property for, let's say, $500,000. He puts $1 million into it, and then he cashes out all of the money that he just put into it within 6 to 12 month time frame, once all the units are rented, right? Brand new units around here, he's gonna get $700-800 a unit easily, probably a little bit more, right? And he's gonna refi cash out all of that money, right? He's gonna, because this is gonna be a brand new project, where he has to gut the entire building out, he can make it so that the tenants are paying all the utilities. He can raise the rents and have their portion of the utilities come out of that, or he can lower the rents a little bit and have the tenants not take care of their own utilities at that point, right? So what he can do at that point, once he puts, let's say, $1 million into this building, he can refi cash out, let's say, at $1.7 million. He gets all of his money back and an additional $200,000 on top of that. So let me talk about how you use the BRRRR method on a multi-unit property. Generally, you don't really want a gut job like this one. This guy's experienced, right? I'm experienced. I would do something like this, but this is not really up my alley right now. It's not what I'm looking for, right? So when you find a property, let's say it's a multi-unit property, what you generally want to do is find a property that's livable, has tenants in it already, and at the end of the day, what you can do is go in, do some light cosmetic work. Generally, you want to be right around $5,000 to $7,000 per unit, and then raise the rents $200. If you can raise the rents $200 per unit, the value of the building is going to skyrocket, right? And I'm going to get back to that in just a minute. But on something like this is vacant. So we kind of call the shots. We had to do research. What were the rents going for across the street at those apartment complexes? How much work do we need to put into this thing? And after reevaluating our numbers, we feel like this investor could be in all into this property after paying me my assignment fee and everything for $1.5 million, probably a little less than that, 1.3 million. He could then turn around and refi cash out, same way he can do on a single family property. He can refi cash out his money and an additional amount of money if he decided to, which is tax free. We already spoke about that. Put all of that money into his pocket and then have the tenants pay for the building. And he still has equity, 20% equity in the building after that, right? So you do the same thing that you would on a single family property, you could do on a residential multi-unit property as well. You could even do it on a commercial, let's say office buildings and things like that. But generally it works best, in my opinion, with apartment buildings. So that's the play, man. If you really want to turn, let's say, $1.5 million into 1.7, get all your money back, be into the building with no money out of pocket, that's how you play the game, man. You use the BRRRR strategy on multi-unit properties. Get all that money back, and guess what you do? You flip that money up next, and you keep adding to that bread, right? Keep adding to that money. So you turn 1.5, let's just say, using this example, into 1.7. You could take the whole 1.7, turn it into 2 million. All right, so we here at the upstairs units. These are in better shape than the ones downstairs. So we're gonna come up here and take some pictures of this as well. Look at some of these units. The flooring is a little nicer. Obviously, it's gonna be nicer up here, primarily because the flooding happens downstairs. It doesn't happen upstairs, right? So what we're gonna do is walk through, take some pictures, and be on our way out. Rondell just said I had a whole bunch of gray hairs. If y'all didn't know, I can actually cut my own hair. So, you know, you can see I'm kind of fresh. This cut I had today is what, Friday? Got this cut back on Tuesday. I did it myself. My gray hairs is coming out, so he trying to call me an old man, Rondell. But it's all good. At the end of the day, it's called wisdom, y'all. The best way to take pictures, if you got an iPhone, put it on photo, right? Or you can do portrait, but portrait is gonna be too close. I like photo, and then I like to put it on a 0.5, so you get almost a panoramic view of the entire room. So that to me, that's the best way to take pictures when you got an iPhone. Cause look at that, I can get a shot of the whole room just like that. You see, best way to take some pictures. Now look. I'm doing this video for y'all today, right? I wanted to show y'all this property, but don't be out looking at these properties, taking pictures yourself. When you start making money in real estate, what I want you to do is hire somebody to take pictures for you, because this is not good use of your time. It's good use of my time right now, because I'm trying to educate you on how the business actually works. I'm trying to show you, again, you know, when you visited my homepage, I told you I was going to show you what I do in the trenches. You know, show you how I actually work my real estate investing business, right? But in reality, I got a bunch of virtual assistants, but I also have people that come out and take these pictures. I don't ever go out and see properties like that anymore. Only when I have something to say, or I wanted to show you that the proof is actually in the pudding, right? So what I'm gonna recommend you do at the end of the day is hire somebody to come out here and take these pictures. Your time is better spent negotiating deals or operating and running your business at the end of the day, all right? So just be mindful of that. You can't be the business owner wearing all the hats. You don't want to do that. I used to do that back in the day until I started building a team. You can't do big things without a good sized team. And I stated this in one of my previous videos. You don't need a huge team in order to run a multiple $1,000,000 business. For every one person you have on your team, it should be bringing in a minimum of $300,000 a year for your business. All right, so they pay for themselves, and the gross profit from them should be right around $300,000 to $500,000. So if you want to build a $1 million team, a $1 million business, get 2 to 3 people on your team, and you'll have your $1 million business. You can't really do it by yourself. By yourself, you could create a 6-figure income, but it's going to be hard if you don't have a team. See, the upstairs units, like I said, are in much better shape. But if you look across the street, there's apartment complexes all across the street. Matter of fact, that one down there looks vacant at the corner. So I might have to check up on that. There's apartment complexes all across the street. You can also see a puddle of water. I'm not saying we was in a flood zone. There's a puddle of water right there. All right, so one thing that the buyer is gonna have to do is try to figure out what he could do to sandbag this place. Not necessarily sandbag it, but he's gonna have to figure out what he's gonna do. Stop right here. He's gonna have to figure out what he wants to do in order to prevent this place from flooding. But you know, again, I'm disclosing that it's in a flood zone. It's his responsibility to try to figure that part out. Let's move into this one. All of y'all that have been on my channel for a while now, since I started revamping the channel a couple years ago, you know that I put out videos like this all the time, walking through properties. This is probably the first multi-unit that I actually walk y'all through, but if y'all brand new, I want to give y'all another tip. So there's 2 tips. The first tip is to subscribe to my channel right now and make sure that you share this video, leave a comment, let me know what you think about this video so far. The second tip is this. When you're in these properties, if you're taking pictures yourself or you're doing videos or whatever the case may be, make sure you take videos walking through the property as well. So let me give you an example. So on the iPhone, you got photos, then you have video, right? I'm gonna shoot a video real quick, just walking through this unit. And I'm gonna talk to the buyer as if the buyer is watching this video, because eventually the buyer will be watching the video if I decide to wholesale it, right? So I'm gonna shoot a video real quick, and you're gonna watch me walk through this particular unit while I'm shooting the video. Let's do it. All right, so as you can see, this unit right here, this is one of the units, the kitchen. It needs a full gut job. You can see the flooring. There's some damage from the refrigerator there. And as we're actually walking through, you can see that there's that laminate flooring from the other units. Here's the bathroom, right? Here's the condition of the bathroom. I don't see anything major in here besides getting a new toilet bowl, sink, and basically gutting out this bathroom as well. And I don't really see any major damage like I do downstairs. So That's basically how you want to do it. That's just to give you an example. You could talk to the video. You don't even have to show yourself. Just walk through the house and point out some problem areas. You know, what would you like to see if you was a cash buyer and you were walking through a property through a video? This guy is out of state. He wants to see the property as much as possible. So I'm going to show him the entire place and show him the problem areas. That's the most important part of the whole process. All right, y'all, so look, it's a wrap. I'm gonna wrap this video up. Let me know what you thought about this video. It's 24 units. We had a chance to see most of the units today. Actually, we saw all of them, but I didn't show y'all the entire thing. But let me know what you think about this property. Obviously, it's a full gut job. This is a great deal. I picked it up. I'm gonna tell you what I picked it up for. I'm not gonna tell you what I sold it for. But I picked it up for $200,000, actually $198,000. Great deal. I'm sitting down with the investor partner next week. And again, we put a pretty hefty price tag on it and he's biting. With that being said, will I take the opportunity to capitalize on it even further? If he wants me to oversee the project, absolutely. If not, I'm not gonna twist his arm to make an extra $100,000. It's not. I could spend that time making more money doing something else. But let me know in the comment section what you thought about this property. Let me know what other type of content y'all want to see. I want to keep creating content that you're going to benefit from at the end of the day. Listen, like this video, subscribe to this channel, click the notification bell. We just reached 15,000 subscribers on this channel. Let's push for 20. And the quicker we get to 20, the more people like you will be able to see this type of information. More people on this channel, the merrier. More real estate investors making more money. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all watching this video. Let's get out of here.